name is Alok Lakhanpal. I'm a PSW student with Humber College. For my PSW course 164, for the nutrition assignment, I've chosen Paneer Bhurji that will be presenting as a meal for lunch or for dinner. Paneer Bhurji is basically a North Indian dish which is made from crumbled paneer, onions, tomatoes, spices, and vegetables. Vegetables are personal choices as per what you would like to add to it. Now, Paneer Bhurji is a North Indian dish and also has a significant importance culturally for me and personally as well, because it is made into regular household food and which served with rotis, parathas, and bread. Rotis and parathas are Indian breads. So there are 4 food safety principles as making Paneer Bhurji, which is a dairy product, and it's a vegetarian dish. First one is clean, then is separate, then you cook and you chill. So the first one, chill. So before we go ahead with Paneer Bhurji being a dairy product and a vegetarian product, we need to look into it that the product is cooked in a sanitized location. Okay, and the first thing that comes into mind with cleanliness is basically our hands. And the first thing that being taught as a PSW student at Humber College was hand sanitization. So hand sanitization is basically a 20-second process that we use to clean our hands with soap lather. And how you do it, I will be showing it to you in the video while I'm cooking it. Okay, and the process. Also, with being clean, you need to sanitize the location where you're going to cook, the frying pans, the utensils in which you're going to keep the vegetables, the chopping board, the serving plate, and also you need to make sure while you're cleaning the vegetables under running water, so all the dirt is cleaned off from them. Okay, and so there is the dairy product as well that's going to be used, which needs to be kept in a clean location, and water dipped in, that I'll be explaining to you as well as in cooking. Okay, now the second rule is to separate. So you never, to prevent cross-contamination, we always keep, raw products and cooked food separately. So if you, since this is a vegetarian dish, we would not be using raw meat into it, but still we would keep the vegetables separately and the dairy products separately. The dairy products are basically perishable items, so you need to also check as, the expiry date on the product and that's being used. So you know exactly that it is fresh. The same way with the vegetables that you get in should be fresh and kept separately. Now the third rule of the 4 principles of safety is cooking. So how to cook. So cook is basically when you're cooking food, you need to make sure that you need to cook it properly and it's not raw when it's undercooked or overcooked. It should be properly cooked that a person can eat it as digestible. So basically when we're doing Paneer Bhurji, I will show it to you how I would saute all the onions and tomatoes and how it should be done. Okay, and while we do that, also make sure we'll be showing it to you that how paneer, which is frozen, we use it to get it down to a normal temperature and then we put it into cooking. We do not directly remove it from a refrigerator and straight away put it for cooking. Also, you need to remember when you're keeping the utensils, the handle should not be on the outside but should be on the inside, because if by any chance you move around, you might hit the utensil and that might fall off. Now the fourth point is basically it's chill. So chill is basically you have to understand that once you cook food, there would be extra food leftovers as well that you need. The leftovers cannot be just directly, you can keep it in a box outside. So within 2 hours of cooking, they need to be in an airtight box and kept into a refrigerator, which has a good temperature, cold temperature that needs to be set for it. If it's not, then the food will not be consumable. Also remember that Paneer Bhurji is something that you need when it's cooked fresh. It's really hot and it internally keeps heating itself with the steam coming up. So you need to let it cool down and then refrigerate it. And that's how it would remain fresh for you, but not for more than 24 hours. You need to consume it within 24 hours. You cannot keep it for 2 to 3 days as it becomes dry and it loses texture, which is not good for eating as well later on. Paneer Bhurji is something which culturally has a great impact on me. Dish is something that which it makes you think about the Indian home style cooking all the time. In North India especially. So food is something not just like this food is easily prepared and is very commonly eaten in Indian houses. And so also that the food that I'm talking about, especially, it just does not is about nourishment to us. It's also like something which is related to the family, the care, the traditions, our identity. And Paneer Bhurji is something that has got me always go back to the time when I used to have it in India. So it's very culturally connected to me, because I feel like when I have that, I'm at home at the moment when I'm having it. So it really has a cultural impact on me very strongly. So it's like Paneer Bhurji is something which is it is for the food that we have with the family, that everyone's around me. So that's one of the reasons I feel that there's a cultural impact, because it's eaten together by the whole family is there and you share it. So Paneer Bhurji is something that we commonly have shared with my family. So that's the reason it has a cultural impact, you could say, on me. Paneer Bhurji is something like a very common dish in India, especially with my family, because my family is a vegetarian family, so we are not the ones who they consume raw meat or eggs. So we mainly enjoy protein intakes through dals and grains and through paneer. That is the most common one that's used, and paneer is used very commonly in India in many of the dishes like palak paneer, butter masala, paneer makhanwala. There are multiple dishes I can keep going on. Paneer can be added into chole bhature. In the bhaturas, there's paneer being used. In parathas, paneer is being used. So there's an indirect nourishment being given in Indian culture with instead of eggs and chicken, we go through paneer. And for me, especially personally, paneer makes me I'm very connected to having Bhurji, because it's the fastest dish, and on busy days when my mother would be busy, she would cook this for me, and it's available, and really not something where it's just made in haste. It's a sweet, tender paneer that's been, cooked and given out to the Indian cottage, which is juicy. It's not something that's dry and just for the sake of cooking being cooked. So it always gives me the resemblance of that it's my mother's food, and my mother's all around me right now, and so I feel like I'm at home when I have this. So that's the reason Paneer Bhurji is something which personally, as also I'm very much impacted by this food. Nutrition is not just about food. Nutrition helps us just, not just by filling up the stomach, but also helps us in giving us energy, improving the illnesses, muscle building. There are various different impacts that nutrition has on our body. All right, so basically, so nutrition is important for us. That gives us energy, that helps us build muscles, and helps us in recovery of any injuries. All right, for daily activities that we need, so nutrition are required for. So as a PSW, I should be careful and be thinking about it when making, because I would be serving old age adults who would be going through different issues. They wouldn't be able to chew food, or would not be able to have chronic diseases, or maybe have certain other impacts, due to which I would have to be very much aware about the nutrition content of their food and their care plan, because if I am not able to get that, then I wouldn't be able to help them out. So as a PSW, it is really very important for me to understand the nutritional value, and how it can help me provide them food as per their requirement. Paneer Bhurji is a really important one. It can help a person grow, and basically it would be easier for the person to digest, as well as it helps in muscle building. So Paneer Bhurji also has various other ingredients added into it, such as tomatoes, which has vitamin C. There are antioxidants because there's onion in it, and there's capsicum in it. There are various other minerals that come along with it. There is turmeric, which helps in internal healing and also prevents improving the immune system of the person. So that's the reason Paneer Bhurji is a very good meal for a person who is an old age. So as a PSW, Paneer Bhurji would be something which would also help a resident or a client who is unable to go ahead and have raw food, raw salads and all. But with the Paneer Bhurji, it can be added on that, because since Paneer Bhurji contains a little bit contains water, it's kind of juicy. You can add salad to it along with it. So as per the Canadian guide, it has the protein content, the salad fiber, and along with it you can have the whole wheat chapati. That's the whole grain food that you need to have. So as per the Canadian food guide, it completes this whole package, where the person would need to have is proteins through paneer, and salads which help with the fiber, and the whole grain meat. Hi, so before we begin preparing the meal, as we discussed Paneer Bhurji, we need to do hand hygiene. So I will be showing you that. Okay, on the tap, taking soap. Okay, then you start washing your hands. Okay, do not touch the tap again, because you're trying to clean your hands. Okay, once that is done for 15 seconds, at least the minimum, do it as we do. Okay, between the fingers, the hand, the nails. Once this is done, wash your hands. Okay, clean it properly so that the entire soap lather is out of the hand. Once. Okay, now do not touch the tap as you just wash your hands. Take a one-time use paper towel. Okay, remove all the water from your hands. Okay, use the same towel to close the tap. So now we start with the meal for the Paneer Bhurji, and if you can see, I have washed all the utensils, which you can see while I'm washing my hands using the hand hygiene. I had cleaned up all the keyboards, the desk, the cooking area, the knives, and I have prepared all the ingredients. So starting with, there are two separate boards, because one is for the raw, one's for the vegetables, and one is for the dairy products. We do not want to mix them up, keeping hygiene in mind. Okay, and safety of cross contamination shouldn't happen. Okay, once I've already cleaned the vegetables, so I don't need to wash them again, because I just washed them and just brought them over here. And also, while with the paneer, if you see, this is a packed paneer, so always check as the expiry date. It says 29th August 2026. Okay, it's already been cut. I've already cut it, but this is very important. You need to check on this one. Okay, and a separate board for it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut this. Okay, and then we are going to add it in a jar of hot water, so that it's nicely softened up, because it's been in the freezer, so it tends to get a little bit hard. And so to make it soften up, we would add into it. So now if you see, this is the paneer. Okay, we take it. Okay, once you take this, okay, this is the block. We just dip it into the hot water. Okay, let it soften it up. All right, so now if you see, the paneer is there, hands are washed again. Okay, because we do not want to use the dairy ones over here. We take the onion and we chop it up finely. So now if you see, the onions are done, the tomatoes are done. Now it's green chili. Okay, we'll be putting it into small pieces. This is completely a personal choice. Some people prefer real spicy ones, some do not. And as a PSW, you need to be careful that you do it as per the care plan. Do not do it as per your taste. Okay. Now if you could see, I have there's cumin seeds, there's coriander powder, there is turmeric, that's red chili, that's salt. Now salt and chili is as per taste. Alright, so you need to be careful while using it, because you cannot use excessive on it. And the paneer, while it softens up more, we will be crumbling it and smashing it up, which I will be showing you how it's done. Okay, but first we need to cook, but before that we smash it, so we need to again wash our hands. This is cottage cheese, Indian cottage cheese that we use. It's called paneer. Okay, and we will not be using oil. We make it in ghee. Okay, this is low-fat butter. It's really good for health. Okay, but I wouldn't say in excess anything is bad. Okay, and if you could see, all my utensils which have been cleaned, this top has been hygiened, and that's the spatula, the lid. A lid is really important because if you keep it open, the steam, it evaporates a lot, but it needs to cook in its own steam, and that gives it the real flavor. Okay, so I'll be adding ghee into it. Okay, and switch it on. Okay, kindly do not heat it a lot. It shouldn't be really hot because then the food would start burning. So the first thing we're going to do is, with the ghee we are going to use is cumin seeds. Okay, so just let it melt a little bit. So if you could see, the ghee is still there. I am just trying my little best to go ahead and so it's heating up a little. Give it some time when it happens. Okay. Okay, so now we would add as the cumin seeds. Okay, now always make sure that it's at a medium level you're cooking it, not at a very high level. The food might get burnt. Okay, cumin seeds, that needs to be added. Okay, need to mix it. Let it turn a little bit brown. Okay, do not let it completely get burnt. Okay, and be ready, because as soon as it's done we need to add onions onto it, because this gets done really fast. Okay, cannot keep the camera too close to it because the heat can spoil the camera as well, and I won't be able to hold it for quite a long time then. Okay, so now if you see it's happening, you add the onions to it. Okay. Now some people prefer capsicums and green peas as well, which really tastes good, but at this point of time, if I am just making it with the onion and tomatoes, that's the most easiest and the stable one and the fastest one as well. Okay, so now this happens, so you need to keep moving it, because if you don't, then it will get burnt. Okay, sometimes what happens is that you might have to add some additional ghee into it. Okay, so as we do this, the onion will turn brown. Let it soften it up. Once that happens, then you can add the tomatoes, but not before that. This would take some time. Okay, so we're just trying to mix it up. It just happens. Let it soften a little, turn a little bit brownish. That's how the onion, you can see it's actually cooked, but do not turn it really dark brown. A slight brownish would help. Alright, great. You can see the view as well as how I'm cooking it. Okay, so now you can see this is turning a little bit brown, but takes time. Okay, you need to keep moving it. You can't just keep it like this and it will get really burnt. So try to, just keep moving it around the stick, because if it gets stuck, it's burnt. So if you see, I've already added tomatoes to it and green chilies. Okay, now I'm really mixing up a little bit. So tomatoes being there, contains water, so it tends to be a little bit strong with it. Okay, but make sure that you put it, and then you need to add haldi into it. Okay, not much. Here by mistake I've added a lot of this. Okay, and the coriander powder should be used at least, so like a pinch of turmeric, more than a pinch of red chili powder, and half a tablespoon of coriander. Okay, now mix it nicely. Okay. It would be difficult sometimes because it's all the spices, they're getting cooked with the onions, so the essence is really strong, so difficult to cook sometimes standing nearby, so you need to use the exhaust. Okay, now we add is the cottage cheese, but just wait for some time while it's being done. It's still a little bit on the, yeah, it's good to go now. So now we add is the paneer. Okay, so you see, you add it nicely, you mix it. Now if you mix it nicely once and for all, okay, so now the last thing to add is salt onto it. The salt should not be much. Always add less salt and let it go as per taste. If you add extra salt, it cannot be removed, but if you add less salt, you can add it later on as well, and it gives a really good taste. We could have added capsicum and green peas. That would have added really good taste as well, but for the time being, we are going to just do it this way. And you need to have a little bit water in it, not much, just to soften up, because the water would always steam up and go, but this way it is the best thing to have. Now this, once it is, you need to keep it on the flames for at least 4 to 5 minutes. You close the lid, okay, let the steam be formed. Well, now you can see it's almost cooked, so the paneer bhurji is ready. And the best part about paneer bhurji is that if you look at it now, I'll just show it to you. So see, there it goes. So that's how it would look when it's cooked. It's more of, if you can say, you can replace paneer, that is cottage cheese, with eggs and make scrambled egg as you make it. You can add eggs into it and use the same ingredients, and that also tastes really yummy, as in the Indian style of making scrambled eggs. Okay, you just need to give a little bit of a minute or two. It's almost done, so we close it. The top is hot, the heat is enough for it to get cooked up inside with the steam itself. Okay, so now you can see this, it's all done, it's ready to be served. So we do not take more than 150 grams of paneer for a single person. Okay, if you take more than that, then the food would be wasted. Okay, and it's preferably you should see how much you want it for one person. If you're making it in excess and want to serve it, bhurji needs to be served, like you need to keep it in a closed airtight box. And okay, so this is how it will be. Now we're done. Okay, and then last thing that would be added onto it is cilantro, and our paneer bhurji is good to go. So if you can see, this is the best protein, easy, simple diet that a person can be given. Easy to digest, with a lot of nutrients, fiber in it. Okay, helps a person, and turmeric as well, helps improving their muscle quality, the mass index, repairing the tissues. It's one of the best things to have. You can have it with a chapati or a naan, that's the Indian bread, or even a regular bread that you have, you can eat it with that as well. Alright, I'd just like to conclude the whole assignment with stating that paneer bhurji has a great meaning for me with as terms of nutrition and culture. Alright, paneer bhurji when served with vegetables can be served in a great way as per the Canadian Food Guide, which is a completion of proteins and nutrition that is required by human body. And also paneer bhurji is for while making, if followed with the safety principles, food safety principles, then it can help avoid airborne diseases. Also like to say that food is not something just it is for nourishment, but also helps you a person to connect to himself, to his identity, to his well-being. That's why it's like food is a really an important thing for a human being.